Hello everybody, so I'm gonna help you to never ever get scammed in TF2 again. Like literally, like, oh, you haven't been scammed, well, you won't get scammed now, because I'm gonna teach you how I do not get scammed. And very simple as well, like just very simple. I'll go over the rules. Like one of the first rules here, and I'm mostly making this video because a guy here had a very simple mistake happening and he didn't provide the necessary information. So I'm like, okay, I don't go to my parents and be like, oh, your computer doesn't work. Have you tried plugging in the plug? Like have you tried to put power onto it? And then it's like, oh, that's the problem. I don't do that. So now I'm just gonna like assume that you guys don't even know how to start your own computer at this point, and then go through how to never get scammed so you won't get scammed. The first step is don't trust any links. Literally, is it your mom? Well, your mom is trying to fucking scam you. Like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, she's trying to scam you. Like, don't trust it. She's sending you a link. Like, links always mean scam. Like, just, okay, let's be more realistic. There's context. And they aren't just asking you to go to this link and log in. Because that is the issue here. Because after, like, basically at the point where the guy could have been scammed, but he caught on to it because of, like, mobile authentication and he didn't just randomly accept it. He was like, oh yeah, by the way, like at the very end of the conversation, by the way, he linked me this, and then he links like a shady website, and told me to log in. And I'm like, and you asked us if this seemed fishy or was shady or was scammy or is this a scam? Because everything else he said was like, oh, that seems fine. Like, oh, the guy have an alt account with like 400 keys. You can probably read some of it here. And she's giving you this trade offer link where, of course, you take this part, you write this part here, and then you copy paste it, because this is the part of the link that, like, honestly, you don't even do that. You take this, the ID, everything else you type in manually, as in, you don't type in after here. You just go to the official Steam, like you go to your own trade link in this case, and then you open your own trade link, and then you substitute this part, which is like the ID. We're gonna refer to these things like ID. As an example, like profile here, we're gonna use this is ID without the backslash there at the end. So if we check this, it's like this, right? That's Mr. Krabs there, whatever. That was his main account, which do not have any TF2 items. So already here it's like, ah, that's suspicious. And then of course we have like the other account here a bit further down, I think. Let me just, there we go, that's the other account. So we have like the ID here where, with the information provided and not knowing that there's a link, oh, apparently this person might have just scammed some more people of keys or whatnot. But you can see that this actually looks like, oh, if he's storing all his TF2 keys on this account, and it seems reasonable. But then as soon as you get the information, oh, the first thing he did was give you a link and told you to log in there. That's a scam. Like, could be literally anybody. If it's somebody very popular, yeah, that's an impersonator trying to scam you, instantly assume that. That's basically the thing there. And again, you don't trust any of this link. You only take the IDs. That's how I do it. I only use IDs if I do not know the website at all, and I can't go to, like, and I don't use it myself, and like have been on that side. I'm always like, yeah, I don't trust that, don't trust it, just assume that it's a scammer. Just to kind of show what happens here is that because this guy's actually a bit smarter than, you know, a guy that would get scammed, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna test with my 15 gear unusual first and see, because probably want to buy that as well, right? And just see what happens. And worst case, I lose a 15 key unusual and not my super expensive that I could get like 200 something keys for, right? And this is the offer he made, and this is the offer that shows up on his mobile and when he checks his like trade offers again. And of course you do not confirm that, you do not confirm that. And this is where, like, after we have this little talk where he is like, oh, by the way, that link, I got told to log in there, and then I went to the website, but I didn't log in. And then I'm like, oh, don't trust links. Like, don't trust links, because what happened is that you were like, oh yeah, I'm smart, I'm gonna go to the website that's shady and I have no reason to go to because this is obviously a scammer, but I'm super excited, so I'm gonna go to this website. And then you get a virus, and you're like, as long as I don't log in, I'm safe, because he made the rules for me. He's a liar, he's a scammer. You should always assume he's a scammer, so he's gonna lie to you. He just wants you to go on this website so that you get a virus, he gets access to your account, and he can take all your good stuff. there wasn't anything about that link in this conversation here that we got given as information. It's only at the very end where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I remember the guy sent me a link and told me to log in, but I was so excited. And that's what scammers try to do. They try to get you excited. So number 2 rule, like the first rule is only use IDs. Number 2 rule is never get excited. If somebody wants to buy your item, they're a fucking scammer until proven otherwise. They are trying to scam you. They want your item. Don't get excited. Play it cool. Be like, okay, I'm gonna check everything. Once you've checked everything, you're like, okay, I do this the safe way, and I check every step under the way. Even before clicking confirm on the mobile, I check what's in the entire trade thing. You're trading with like maybe scrap the TF bot, and you won a raffle or some shit. Yep, you check that shit because you could get scammed. You don't know. Maybe somebody got access to your account, and the trade that you actually ended up getting is, well, for all your unusuals or some shit. Check stuff. You don't just assume every time something happens like this, it's a scammer. Like, somebody is legit, like somebody, you know, maybe a popular guy, like one of the top 100 backpack TF users, or maybe a YouTube ad to you, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to buy your stuff. Assume scammer. That's a scammer until proven otherwise. It's definitely an impersonator. Maybe he's just a scammer. Like, it turns out he's just a scammer, right? No, but assume that, and then you won't get scammed. Like, just think it through. Take your time. If the guy gets impatient and ends up giving up, well, then that's his problem, right? It's not your problem, because then that was probably something shady going on. Okay, for this example, let's assume that I add you, and then I'm like, here, this link, which is, you know, to my backpack, the tier profile or backpack, and I'm like, this is my profile, or I link my Steam profile, and I'm like, this is my profile. That's an impersonator. You know instantly, that's an impersonator trying to scam you. Like, why would anybody, like, why would a YouTuber ever link you his own profile or his backpack to tier if he would be like, oh yeah, you can take my ID, like, just click on my portrait and check my inventory from, like, Steam. You don't, like, I don't need to link you anything. Why should I? Like, I assume you do that before even accepting my friend invite, right? That's at least what you should do. So that brings me to another thing. Somebody adds you, you go to the profile, you take the ID and you paste it in here. So with me it would be like Archimo. I'm not gonna, you know, copy paste it in, but we're gonna be like, okay, that's Archimo, and maybe it's like a 1 at the end because, you know, impersonator or whatnot. That is his ID, or maybe he's having an ID where it's like ID and then it's number, so it looks like my profile number, because that is something impersonators do as well. And then we pop up and then, oh, that turns out that was the right Archimo. Okay, that less likely to be a scammer, right? Less likely to have something with scam, because you did it yourself. You went to the profile of the person. You didn't trust anything he gave you. That's another thing you need to learn. Like, don't trust anybody else here. Like, you trust yourself, you check the stuff yourself, and you won't get scammed. Now, again, there was that new thing where, like, with fake TF2 items, where now Valve have given a warning. And let's assume in the future you may get scammed by something like that. Then if it's something where really you aren't at fault there, Valve will, as shown here, restore items, as they've been doing with this kind of scam. But from now on, to avoid this scam, you'll get to know, oh, you don't actually have the game, or you don't have any items from this game, and then but those are TF2 items. They look completely identical. If you get that warning, just assume, okay, Valve's system works. I don't trust this guy. And if he's like playing it innocent and like, I don't know what you're talking about, just be like, okay, listen, Valve is just telling me that I do not have the game, and it might be a bug, but I don't want to trust you, so you try and fix your stuff there, and then you can add me again later if it's, you know, works for you, and like you don't have this issue with anybody else. And if this issue keeps going, then you know what, I can't trust you, sorry. Like, Valve is telling me not to trust you. Also, like, a quick nice thing to notice, like, these things have been added on Backpack.tf. If you know, click here and then you go to the profile, you can also go to the Steam community profile here, which is what I would recommend, as like, you copy paste the ID into here, of course, and then you go to the Steam profile here. That's at least what I would recommend. And like, lastly, and I'm pretty sure this is like the last step of not getting scammed, is that you don't trade for nothing. If the guy's like, okay, you trade me your item first, scammer, that's a scammer. Don't care about, like, whatever bullshit he makes up, that's a scammer. If he can't trade you like directly, or if he's like, oh, let's say he's like, okay, I'll trade you over PayPal, and he doesn't have, you know, like 100 trust, or like where it's obvious that this guy doesn't want to ruin his entire thing going on, even then you need to be very suspicious. I wouldn't do it myself. Like, I would always insist, okay, you say you have like so much money and you want to buy my item. Yeah, you go to marketplace.tf, then spend all that money that you want to give me on keys, and then you trade the keys for my item, and then we have a deal. And if they can't do that, they're a scammer. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you can use this. Hope to see you again next time.